Hey everybody, how's it going? How's everybody doing tonight? This interesting points. This is a show that I created about Jesus. It's been 7 years ago now. It's a panel show that basically was taken off of British panel shows that I'd love to watch and kind of adapted to my own thing. So we got 5 comedians tonight, kind of talking about different things that they're an expert in, different things that they think about things, and also we have a little challenge at the end where we'll get into that as we get to it. So I'm gonna waste your time. My name's Josh. I probably should introduce myself in the first place. I'm gonna introduce you to the comedians we got tonight. First up, we got Shion. Hey, Shion, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Next up, we got Dead Air Dennis Maller.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Dennis, how you doing?
And
we
hello,
got
with me.
we got Nate Lopez.
Hello.
What's up, Nate? How's it going?
Nothing. Good. How are you?
We got David
Fine.
Thomas.
What's up in
What's up?
Chatland?
How
Oh,
you
boy.
doing?
Oh.
And we got Pick a Side Stupid Sean Carter.
Hey,
How's it going, Sean?
yeah.
No, I like to start every show with something I like to call the banter. Basically, this is it's basically just kind of get everybody a little loose, get everybody just kind of just juices flowing and just conversation going. So the topic I picked for today's show is inside. Last week was outside. Now we're going to talk about what it's like to be inside. So, Shion, well, for me, myself, inside means I'm learning new things. I can house like three frozen pizzas in a sitting and not have to do anything, which I shouldn't.
You shouldn't do that.
I shouldn't, but I do.
You should be first.
Oh yeah, but I'd like to know what it means to you guys. So, Shion, what does inside mean to you?
Yeah, I absolutely took the prompt in a completely different direction, because the first thing I thought of when I heard inside was inside baseball as the phrase, but I don't know anything about baseball. I just know that it means like inside jokes. And then I thought of Inside Man, which is a movie from 2006, which oddly enough is kind of about being quarantined, because there's a whole if you haven't seen it, there's a whole thing where Clive Owen's character is in jail, and there's a twist about that at the end, but he's just in a small space for a very long time. That's the first thing that I thought of.
So, Dennis, inside for you.
I mean, yeah, I kind of went the same route. I was thinking like inside jokes because that's one of the best things. That's one of the best, smallest joys in life is having this joke that only you and a small group of people know. And now, understandably, occasionally you're going to tell those inside jokes to outside people, and they're not going to get it. And you know what? That's fine because you're only going to make that mistake and feel bad about it maybe 400 times before you learn your lesson. So,
Let me hear one of those inside jokes.
no, it's for me. My best, not for you. Actually, we have an inside joke. Barrett, your favorite Osama bin Laden quote is, "My name is Barry Allen, and I'm the fastest man alive."
That sounds like an inside joke. Yeah.
Inside joke. Yep.
I don't
Okay,
get it.
Well,
I'm not the person, I
that's
guess.
the most inside joke I've ever had because I don't remember it.
Ah,
Nate, Nate, what does inside mean to you?
oh man. So I don't like conflict, and I like just going with the flow on things. So I'm not really going to put up a fuss on anything. But inside my brain, I'm always complaining about every choice that everyone makes. So that's kind of what it meant to me. Is I just don't generally like choices anyone makes that I didn't make, but I know I can live with them, so I just do them. You know what I mean? I don't know if anyone else feels like that, but everything is terrible.
Internally judgmental.
Yeah, like inside my head, I'm just a prick, I guess. I don't.
Inside my head, I hate everybody, including myself.
Oh,
But-
mostly, yeah. Honestly, that's probably a big part of the problem.
So, David, inside for you, buddy.
It's funny. Yeah, I had an idea for inside, and then I go to AA, and then I come here, and the topic is inside. I'm like, am I going to talk about my feelings again? But I've been at home for a while, and I just recently relocated to the basement, and I look like I was kidnapped down here, and in my very poor attempt to try and liven up, like I love Dennis's whole background, like lights and stuff. I have a dogs playing poker thing hung up on the circuit breaker door.
Hey, David,
Yeah,
you look like the kidnapper, not the kidnappee. I just want to make sure.
I should have worn a different shirt. Yeah.
Should have shaved.
Yeah. Ah, shit. I was just thinking today. I was like, thank God some of the stubble's coming in behind. Yeah. Yeah. This is a scene from Saw. Yeah. Okay. I'm back in AA again. That's it. That's it for inside for me.
Little do you know, his headset is actually an intricate trap.
Yeah.
So, Sean, what does inside mean to you?
That's,
Well, I just moved into this house, so it's inside is very empty. I have no furniture. If you look around this room, there's nothing in here. It's completely so inside, I spend most of my time inside of a garage refinishing furniture to bring into this house.
Oh, cool.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's amazing. It's really cool. So the inside is empty, kind of like Nate's head.
Right.
Had to say it. It was low hanging fruit. Had to say it.
yeah.
I'm judging you in my head, but I'm going along with it.
It's crazy seeing Sean with long hair. Like he looks like the guy who I kidnapped.
Sean, blink twice if you're in danger. So that was inside. That was what inside means to everybody. Just kind of, like I said, just kind of get the conversation flowing a little bit. Next up is Prove It to Me, which should have a graphic for. There it is. Nice little graphic for it. What this is, everybody's an expert in something. So I'm going to ask everybody just kind of say a few things, a little bit about it, a little bit of whatever topic you want to choose to kind of prove that you are an expert in it. I'm going to start with Nate. Nate,
All right.
what are you an expert in?
I am an expert on the Utah Jazz. I know more about the Utah Jazz than anyone else alive. I can prove it.
All right.
Prove it.
My favorite Utah Jazz player is Mark Eaton. You know who Mark Eaton is?
For the name.
Mark Eaton holds the or held the all-time block record for NBA season. But what's more interesting about Mark Eaton is how he became a Utah Jazz player. He played college ball for a little bit, then he quit, and he became a car mechanic, and he lived in Salt Lake City. And one day, Utah Jazz, like...
you bored David.
fuck
I
this.
don't want to do NBA stories.
He's got to check on the victims. Anyways, he was a mechanic, and he got hired to be an NBA player, and it's amazing. All right.
That's awesome. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
David's an expert on avoiding Utah Jazz.
Mhm.
I'll get him. I'll get him one of these days. I'm going to get him.
Stop texting me.
So what else besides Mark Eaton? You got anything else?
They used to play in the Salt Palace. It was this stupid little multi-purpose place in the middle of Utah, but it was they tried to make it a historical place. They chopped it down, and now it's a farmer's market. That's what you get. They chopped it down. Yep. So, there you go.
Tale as old as time.
I'll be honest with you. Salt Lake City was one of the prettiest places I've ever been to.
It is. It's very
It
pretty.
really is.
It's a weird city, though.
Yeah, it's
very
really
weird.
strange. It's also the only place I've ever seen seagulls in the mountain.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's the Utah State bird, man.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, yeah. The
Wild.
Salt Lake is there. There's a whole legend about them. Man. They love seagulls there. I was
Wow.
born in Utah.
I want to know about
Huh.
that.
I guess I should expand it to Utah. I know more about Utah than
Yeah.
any man alive.
Seagulls, all that.
Him and his 9 wives.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna. That's Utah from Nate. Utah Jazz. Thank you, Nate.
You're
I'm actually gonna go to David because David set something up with me ahead of time.
Yeah, so my expert topic, we'll see how it goes. But obviously, being inside, I've sort of been replaying video games that I loved from when I was younger, and I played through the Mass Effect series many times. And Mass Effect, it's a sci-fi series. It's super cool. Basically, there's a whole,
You
a
bored
force. A force, yeah,
I
a
need
force
that.
is coming to destroy the galaxy, and you need to, yeah, a force is coming to destroy the galaxy, and you are the chosen one or whatever, and you have to stop them. But I wonder if I still remember as much about it as I used to. So I asked Josh, which is a horrible idea, to look up some trivia and test me on it.
All right,
So
I'm
we'll
gonna
see.
I'm gonna give you 3 questions.
Okay.
All right. What is the name of the research facility on Novaria?
God fucking damn it.
This isn't looking good.
Oh
Yes,
wait, no, because that's where you first talk to Sovereign, and you learn that he's like sentient, and he's not just like some husk of just like a ship. God damn it! And
Are you making this all up as you go?
it's where the Krogan cloning facility was.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The Solarian sergeant there was Pados Wick. I don't remember the facility name. What?
Peak 15.
God damn it. Okay.
What do the Alliance soldiers call the spikes that the Geth used to create husks?
Oh. Right, because they stick the body on there and then oh no. I don't know, man. Geth spikes?
Dragon's teeth.
Classic.
I'll give you one. I'll
This is
give you
going
one.
really well.
Good.
I'll give you
Yeah,
one more.
this
One more.
is
One more.
going
One more.
fucking
One more.
great, yeah.
How much does Rex weigh?
Well, okay, he's on the ship. I don't know. Let's say like.
Here, I'll give you multiple choice on this one.
Oh, yeah, all right, multiple choice.
800 pounds, 1,000
Ooh.
pounds, 600 pounds, or 700 pounds.
I'll say 600.
Nope, 800.
7.
Ah,
Closer though.
But I'll
that
tell
was
you
really
something.
good, though.
I'll tell you something kind of funny. When I took this quiz, I got those 3 right.
Yeah. Well, I'm an expert in shit that Josh. I don't know. Whatever.
No,
This-
I'm not trying
this went
to
great.
say that I'm better, but
Oh,
I'm
you are,
saying
Josh.
that. Yeah. I think we're all conclusively
Yeah,
saying
you don't
you're
have to
better.
say you're better. We can,
Yeah.
you know. We're
Yeah.
aware.
Interesting points is about how Josh is more interesting than all of us.
that is so not true. Hey, Sean, what are you an expert in?
I would say I'm an expert in marriage. I've done it twice, so pretty good.
Any facts you could drop on it?
Yeah. If you make it past the 2-year mark, you're good. And I haven't done that yet, but let's hope this time's the time.
I see a head shake from Nate.
No, it's great. You get past 2, it's smooth sailing.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm actually at 13 years.
Great.
So,
Nice.
13 years. Yeah.
Congrats.
It's just, yeah. Don't congratulate me.
That is so interesting.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a little better. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
No, not at all. No, the congratulations is great. It's just being stuck in the same house with the same person for 7 months.
That's good.
I know that struggle.
And especially when you add a 3-year-old to the mix.
Oh
I
yeah.
know that struggle, but I can't imagine.
Quarantine is equal to a 1.5 years in marriage, so I think you guys are doing great. I think.
Yeah, Sean, you got over your 2 years now.
Well, I spent the last 6 months. We bought this house a week ago, but I spent the last 6 months with my in-laws. We lived with my in-laws for 6 months.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
So you got like 7 years now.
Yeah, it was intense.
Yeah.
That's forward.
So, Xian, what are you an expert in?
Oh, I'm gonna say I'm an expert in hair textures and styles. I could tell you all about the various hair textures that are upon your heads right now. I see a lot of, everybody has straight hair that I can see. There might be a little bit of a wave, so that's a lot of 1 and 2. I don't know what the number for that would be, Dennis.
It's number big.
Yeah, and then like for mine, it's all locked up right now. But I didn't want to say 0, but the overlords have said it. Yeah, it's a lot of like 4A and 4B for like coily and curly hair, and there's even like a Z curl pattern, which is a 4C.
Wow. So where did this come from? Like, what does all this mean exactly? Is it just that?
Yeah, it's kind of like a grading system. I suppose people that work with hair, like hairstylists and stuff, would need to know it. But I got into it because I was trying to, before I got my locks, I was very curious about how they would look kind of before I had them. So I was scouring the internet trying to find people that had my hair texture so I could have like a good idea of what it would look like, or, what methods I should use to lock my hair versus others. So like if all of us right now, we're going to try and lock our hair, well, most of us, we'd have to use different methods and tools because of our different hair textures, essentially.
That's interesting.
That's very interesting.
It's way more interesting than the jazz.
Yeah. Oh, Mass Effect.
Yeah. Or me not knowing anything about Mass Effect.
Or failing at Mass Effect's trivia.
Yeah. This is going great.
Hey, David, let me ask you one more question. What's the name of the game?
Halo.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, perfect.
Dennis, what are you an expert in?
Oh, well, if you can't tell by all of this wonderful sound dampening and proofing and all these microphones, I am an expert in the musical stylings of ska music. So I sit in here day and hour after hour, all day long, listening to Real Big Fish at loud volumes, and this padding is so no one else can hear it. That's why it's a musical style that started in the mid-50s to late 60s in Jamaica when they fused American rock and roll and Caribbean music as protest music. And then, of course, had a resurgence in the mid-70s to early 80s in the poor sections of London, where a lot of multicultural people came together to play again protest music against Margaret Thatcher and other things that were going back in England and stuff. Of course, while you had tons of bands with like plenty of people of different ethnicities coming together, it also kind of brought about the neo-fascism in England. So sorry that ska music gave you skinheads, but it also gave us like cool tunes to dance to at the same time.
So
what?
Was popular people in the late 70s in the United Kingdom. It was popular with a lot of people who were protesting racism, and then became popular with people who hated races at the same time. The skinhead movement started as in the punk scene of the 70s in Britain, where a lot of dock workers coincidentally wore the same clothing of like steel-toed boots and bomber jackets, and they all had to shave their heads because of lice outbreaks, and they all were just fans of ska and punk music. And they started going to these shows, and other people started copying that style. And then during a lot of poverty and race riots and a lot of stuff that was going on in both England and specifically in the ska and punk club scene, there is a split faction of what do you call it when you're like not patriotism, but you're like we have them here
Nationalism?
too.
Nationalism.
Thank you. That's the word I've been trying to come up the whole time. So nationalism is very big in England.
Everyone leaving?
Split the ska punk scene into two factions: neo skinhead, fascist, racist. And you had a group of other skinheads called Sharps, which stood for Skinheads Against Racial Prejudice.
Oh boy.
So
Holy shit!
Not a good name, but okay. Good message.
bald dudes fighting each other in the name of black people and Indian people. And
the way to
it was a
tell them,
wonderful time in the
Right.
70s.
and the way to tell them apart was their shoelaces.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
The way to
That's
tell
the
them
only
apart
way.
was their
Everyone
shoelaces.
looked
No,
the
that came
same.
No, that actually came about in the 90s when a lot of that
Okay.
neo-Nazism made its way over into America. That was shoelaces was an American thing, but
Was
back
it?
then
Okay.
it was real. Two
The ones with Velcro
factions
were just
of
fucking nuts.
Skinheads. Yeah.
Wow.
The ones with
that
Velcro
Did
was
were-
not know. Wowzer.
Those buttons.
wow.
I mean, that's
So what-
the music style nobody likes. Oh, and then there was
Wow.
the third wave in the 90s, which sucked.
yeah.
That's
that's
the part that sucked. Yeah.
Yes, Spring Heel Jack was Spring Heel Jack out of New Hampshire really just ruined the entire music genre for everybody.
Yep.
I actually hung out with Bim Scalabim a lot. Went back in the day. Boston band.
Wait,
Yeah.
So-
can I ask a question? Where is Aaron Barrett right now?
Just on Chris DeMake's podcast, who is the lead singer of Less Than Jake. So he's living in LA, and they
Okay.
just released a new single, or they were just working on a new single. But yeah, Chris DeMakes is the lead singer of Less Than Jake. And also, one of my first radio interviews was Chris DeMakes from, we did it in the back of a small school bus backstage of Warped Tour in Virginia, Manassas, Virginia, and I want to say 2003.
Well, there you go.
You just keep dropping lines, and you keep dropping lines, and Dennis keeps picking up.
That's a reference
Anyways.
to ska music, everybody. In case you
Yeah,
don't
Yeah.
The theme is inside.
Yeah. And that's inside baseball. Whoa.
Wow. So now that we
Nice
learned
job,
everything,
everyone.
now that we learned everything about ska, wow, that's more about ska than I was expecting to learn tonight.
Mhm.
I'll be honest with you.
And anytime around, it's more than anyone expects to hear about ska. Even
Yeah,
other
yeah.
Now we're going to go into our next. So everybody's an expert in something. They obviously proved it, except for David. So next one, we're going to go into a little thing I call and I'm guilty too, which is guilty pleasures. So everybody's got a guilty pleasure. Some people don't think they're guilty. Some people don't think they're guilty pleasures, and I don't want to hear that. I hear that every single time. I don't have any guilty pleasures. I'm not guilty about anything. I just want to hear what you have, what you like that other people may not like necessarily. So I'm going to start with Sean. Sean, you got any guilty pleasures?
Oh, God, something that I like that people don't like.
People might necessarily not like ska.
I like, yeah, I was gonna say third wave ska. That is my jam. When I go like 311, why does everybody hate on 311? Like, I know they're not a good band, but they're a fun band.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll give you that. I mean, I think their first two albums are fantastic. To be honest with you, it's everything after that they kind of lost me in. And then when I realized that oh my god, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I realized that S.A. Martinez sounded like Cartman. Oh, it sounded like Weird Al Yankovic. I was like, oh, this is up now. Now I'm done.
Yeah, once they start singing about Amber and give me those hot rap tracks from the early stuff. That's what I want to hear.
The Underground 311. I love it.
Of course, Josh, you would be a fan of 311 because, as your lighting tells us, amber is the color of your energy. So
I knew I recognized the band. Thank you for that very easy reference that just connected those dots for me.
I start singing their songs for you to recognize them, but then we'll get yanked off of Twitch, so I won't. We to pay for it.
Yeah.
But it's not because of copyright. It's because it's going to be that bad.
Yes.
The president of Twitch is watching us right now, just waiting to pull that plug.
You'd be surprised.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
David, what's your guilty pleasure?
Okay, so I've been trying to watch my diet a bit for a while, but I every time I go to Wawa, I am an absolute sucker now. I don't, of course, I don't even remember the brand now, but just the Wawa thing, string cheeses with salami wrapped around it. I love those. Okay, so it's not guilty pleasure at all then, apparently.
Sorry,
but like
another one.
oh, the buffalo chicken bites from Wawa.
You're just gonna name food that's good? What
The big pile of shit outside Wawa. I love it.
Much better.
Okay, well, I guess I really like Dragon Force.
Okay.
Yeah. See. Okay. I knew that pissed off Josh. I'm not a metal person at all, and I know Josh is. But like, there's something so inherently like. I love listening to Dragon Force at the gym because it's just so like, hey, you're doing it, yeah. And like, I don't know. And I'm under the impression, not just from my interactions with Josh, but that true metal heads or whatever, like hate Dragon Force. And I'm curious if that's true, Josh.
I respect their talent musically, but their singers have always sucked.
Okay, I mean, this is just their singer is just the guy who's like, you're on the mountain with the swords, and I'm just like, I'm totally into that.
What is this music?
It's really
I have no idea.
This is a band. I thought Dragon Force was a Pokemon spinoff.
I thought it was a cartoon.
Through the Fire and the Flames.
It was a card game.
Yeah,
it was the final boss in Guitar Hero.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes
No.
sense.
look up Heart of a Dragon by Dragon Force, and I listen to that at least 3 times every time.
I will never Google that sentence.
Yeah, no, I know Dragon Force.
I'm gonna send
the
a link
guy
to all
that
of
loves
you.
311. I was like, oof, Dave.
Yeah, don't get on your high horse talking about 311. Dragon Force. They came over from England in the 80s. And, I don't know.
Actually, some of them are England. Some of them are British.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, some of them are British. I don't know why I know that.
I got no idea.
I don't know.
You're
We've established
failing Mass Effect and Dragon Force trivia.
pretty much. It's been a hell of a life, guys. It really has.
Oh,
So I mean, the original lead singer was ZP Thert. That was his name, ZP Thert.
ZP Thert.
Yeah, what kind of a name is that? I mean,
I'm
that's
into. I don't care. Anything you
On
can
the
tell me
Thert?
about Dragon Force, I'm like, yeah, okay, that sounds good.
Herman Lee is the guitarist. Fantastic guitarist. Yeah. Anyways, that's enough about Dragon Force.
Guilty.
Nate, what's your guilty pleasure, man?
All right, mine's pretty gross, but I love it. I like purposely not showering for days. I'm really like leaning into this.
Oh,
But
no.
I really like if people are around. If people are around, I'm gonna shower. I'm not like an antisocial person, but I can
okay.
go 3 or 4 days and I feel
Oh.
really good. I don't.
Wow.
Like I think the first thing I said on my first show back on TMB Studios was the fact that I realized something by not showering for 3 or 4 days in a row sometimes that I actually start smelling like really good soup. It's the worst thing. I'm like, what smells like good minestrone? Oh, it's me.
So
So
R.A.J. Endelman said in the chat, "Don't you work out regularly?"
yes.
And
So
to that I say, mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I do shower after I work out. However, I hurt my foot like 3 weeks ago, so I've really been able to lean into this habit.
no,
lately.
we're
It's
back.
been a lot of fun. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Lord.
Stop.
I agree.
Okay,
Oh,
Shion, what's your
So
guilty
that's
pleasure?
the picture of Ernest Hemingway's behind you shaking its head no.
oof.
He's like,
Shion,
thank God I'm behind glass.
Shion, what's your
Oh,
guilty pleasure?
boy. So the first thing I thought of was also a music thing.
right.
Like I don't get why people don't like Nickelback. I think it's fine. Like, oh, this is dumb, and like, okay, they all kind of sound the same, but that's nice. We know what's happening. So there you go.
I agree, Shion.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
You
so
got the guy who
sorry.
doesn't know anything about Dragon Force agrees with you.
I don't know. I think Nickelback is like the salami covered cheese of the music world.
So like, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We all like it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just another tasty food.
You know the funny thing is, Sean, that's the best review they've ever gotten. That's gonna be on the next album. Sean
Uh-huh.
Carter says.
Oh man,
Nickelback is Nickelback.
they sure
Yeah.
are. They sure are.
Dennis, what's
Oh,
your
I
guilty pleasure?
thought we went over this ska music. It's really that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to point this out. Producer Matt Fear just let me know that behind Nate there is a picture of Robin Williams, which really proves how much of a thief Robin Williams was because he stole Ernest Hemingway's look.
Yeah.
More hot takes.
Back to you.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'm gonna try something. I got a little bit of time here, so I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna
Okay.
try going to the chat, and I'm gonna try this something we call "What You Hate Isn't That Bad, Is It?" So I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna see if someone in the chat has something that they hate, and that you guys can. Isn't that bad? Is it? They actually have a graphic for it too.
Ooh, I like that.
So I'm gonna go to the chat and see if anybody has something, a topic or something that they dislike or is a pet peeve of theirs, and that they you guys have basically like a couple of sentences to prove to them that it's not that bad. And if nobody in the chat goes, I'm gonna ask Matt to do it.
Oh yeah.
Chat, tell us your guilty pleasure and we'll defend it to you and make you feel better while you're in quarantine alone, hating yourself.
Olives.
Ooh.
Oh.
Olives.
How is olives a guilty? Like, everyone loves olives, right?
Well,
Yeah.
I think Rachel. I think she hates olives.
She hates olives.
She's
Oh.
wrong.
I misunderstood the entire segment then. I thought we were defending things.
No. We're defending what we're defending. We're basically trying to make them realize that olives aren't that bad.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Essentially doing the opposite.
It's the only foods besides celery and lemons and limes that you could put in booze and it's appropriate and everyone's okay with it. Olives are great.
I got a good selling point for olives for Rachel. Rachel?
Yeah.
Almost every time that I've had an olive, it has come with a pizza.
That's a good point.
Selling
Good
point.
point.
Yeah, that's a
Rachel,
really, it's a really good accessory.
yeah.
Especially if it's just that one olive in the center.
Yeah, that's all. It's just one. You just gotta get through like
Boosh.
a slice of olive. You got a whole pizza.
No,
Yeah,
I still do the monster fingers with the olives. You can put them on your finger.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
I love that. That to me, it's just fun. Yeah, pizza's better with olives though. I love olives, man. I like Italian,
Yeah,
and
olives are good.
Mexican, and everything.
Pizza's fancier with olives.
It is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just that one
Olives-
olive in the center.
Olives are a great snack if you're on keto.
And you on keto? Not
I
anymore,
was. Not
Oh, you
anymore,
were?
no.
We're
Yeah.
eating a lot of olives.
Brag.
A lot of olives and pickles.
Hmm.
So
Fun.
yeah,
right? Huh.
it
A lot of
was
salt.
very salty. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna die
Wow.
soon. But
I mean, wow, that went from
And,
dark very quickly.
All right. Well, Shian, you got anything about olives?
If you don't like the taste of olives, when you have them, you'll be like, I don't have to do that again for a while, and then everything else will taste better.
I really like that. That's how I'm gonna approach everything.
I'm gonna do it one more. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think the best thing about olive toppings on a pizza is it's not pineapple. So
That's fair.
Uh-oh.
That's fair.
Pineapples
Oh.
are great on
Oh,
pizza.
And
I'm glad he got out right after.
Yeah,
either he left or Matt kicked him out.
one of the two.
Wow.
That's
Hi,
my
everybody.
topping of choice.
that was interesting.
Now we move.
Was that the penalty box? Do you guys put people in a penalty box?
Thank
I
you.
guess so.
have pineapples on pizza,
Thank
bro.
you,
So do I.
Matt.
We do know.
Solidarity.
Factually, pineapples are still not olives. Okay, so
They are. Yeah, that is true. I want to address really quick. I hate Peeps too. Both
Peeps
ways.
are
that's what I'm
terrible.
saying.
What
Yeah.
is this like a
They're
weird
no.
marshmallow thing that you?
Yeah.
I don't
Easter.
recall eating one
Oh, they're
So,
awful.
of late.
Don't do
Yeah.
that.
Even as a child.
So
Yeah,
no
not a
kids,
fan of
anything.
Peeps.
you put them in a microwave for a minute and then they dance around. It's a peep show. It's wonderful. They're great.
Oh wow.
See, I actually like Peeps, but
They are gross, but
Just
if your
marshmallows.
pillow is getting a little flat, you can throw some of them in there and stuff your pillow with it.
That is true.
Yeah, it's good for something.
Wow.
Jeez.
You can
If
give
you
them.
don't shower, you get to smell
Wow.
like soup and marshmallows.
Yeah, no,
Ooh.
pizza. You don't want that pizza to burn. There's nothing wrong with burnt pizza.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
how you
Can't
know how
eat
I
it, man.
know. You know how I know Peeps are terrible because when I give them to my kids for Easter, like I buy them from the store and I put them in their basket and I give them to them on Easter morning. I know I'm just going to throw them in the garbage 7 days later. No one, everyone hates Peeps. Everyone hates them. If kids won't eat them, they're terrible.
okay.
Yeah.
I like
Point.
Peeps, but I like the fact that they've tried something different by adding a bunch of different flavors recently. You probably all think they're still awful, but they had caramel Peeps, they had
Oh.
chocolate covered Peeps.
I'm out.
There's no
and,
cheese with salami around them. I'll tell you that much.
Hey,
That's what we
Peeps,
need.
Get a
Peeps,
salami Peep. Maybe
Peeps are-
I'm in.
Peeps are the cheese with salami of Nickelback. That's all I know.
You changed my mind, sir.
We are not
All right.
outselling anything.
So I'm not going to sell Peeps on anybody. That's fine. So I'm going to go into our last section here. We've been moving on a good clip. This is called "One of Us is the Killer." It's
Ooh.
basically 4 truths and a lie. I love that graphic.
I love how all the graphics are like in portrait mode, like a World Star video. It's wonderful. We got a 16:9 ratio. Pictures. Fuck it.
We're all about World Star here.
So basically, what it is I got 5 stories here. 4 of them are true. 1 is a lie. I've had them. I picked someone to tell the lie. I know who it is. You guys don't. So we're gonna try to figure out who it is. So I'm gonna go to Shion first. What's your story, Shion?
Oh, I sure wish you didn't pick me first.
Okay, Nate. What's your story?
All right. So, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, when we decided I was the greatest expert on Utah, that's where I was growing up. So I was in college here and I was failing out of college. I was going to be a chef. And my car kept breaking down. I was driving one day and it broke down in this mini mall, this strip mall. And there was 4 recruiting offices there. So on the spot, I decided to join the military based on who walked out first. United States sailor walked out. So I walked in, and I joined the Navy, and I left for boot camp 2 weeks later. That's my story.
Oh. Well, I know you were in the Navy, so that much I know. I'm not sure if that was the reason why you chose the Navy.
Interesting.
Anybody any questions for Nate?
Oh,
Uh-huh.
no, not really. No,
Is there
sorry, pal.
is there one, like, were you secretly hoping for one, or like were you like really dreading, like, oh god, I hope a Marine doesn't walk out or something?
I honestly thought it was going to be Army, but I'd been recommended to do the Air Force or the Navy. So, but I thought it was going to be Army. I just knew that I didn't know what I wanted to do. So
Mhm.
the day I walked out, I took that as a sign.
Okay.
Cool. And
That's
you were
pretty
on you were on a submarine, right?
Yes, sir.
So
How long was your service? How long was your?
I was in for 8 years. I served on the submarine for 4. I was out of Honolulu on the Los Angeles, and then I taught for another 4 years, and I got out.
What'd you teach?
Nuclear power. I was an electronics technician, so we would teach about the reactor and electronics.
And my final question is: if we pan that camera left, are we going to see a picture of Jimmy Carter?
You'll see a pig. I like the pig. He's a very happy pig, right? Isn't he great? I bought him.
The babe pig or a generic pig?
It was some pig I saw at an art show up in Haverhill for like $60, and I really liked it, so I bought it.
Cool. So I'm gonna bounce around a little bit. Sean, what's your story?
Oh, okay. So my story is that I did. I've done stand-up comedy for years, but back when I tried to go to college, I went to a community college, and I took speech, just public speech, as a class, and I failed that class 4 times.
What was
I love that.
What was so tough about the class? Was there something?
I think just getting there, just getting to the class was difficult.
Was that why you failed? You just attendance reasons?
Probably, most likely. I don't think I ever made it through that whole class.
Hey, Sean, if you can sum up your entire community college experience in 2 words, what would it be?
Community college dropout. Thanks for the alley-oop, Dennis.
Yep.
Inside jokes are my favorite things.
Boom.
So, Shion, can I come back to you now?
Yeah, I think I'm okay now.
All right. What's your story?
So once when I was younger, my sister and I were taken to a church by a family friend, and she forgot us there until the late evening, at which point, when it got like dark, we decided to try and walk home via the highway. Fun fact, we did not make it, and we ended up stopping at a gas station to call our mom.
Wow. How far away was the how far did you walk?
We walked far enough to understand that we weren't going to be able to walk home. And so we got to like a gas station that was nearby, because I thought, I kind of had it in my head that we would walk straight, that we drove straight to get here, so we'll just walk straight. And we did that, and then we saw the highway, and I was like, maybe as the older sister, I should take the reins on this a little bit more and go to a phone.
Now that we're on the highway. How old were you?
Yeah.
Gosh, how old was I? Maybe like 9. My sister was around 7. Like, we were young enough to get like sympathy from the people who were at the gas station. They let us pick a candy each.
Whoa.
So that's how young we were.
9 years old, and then they like steal candy. Oh, I love this city.
Yeah, way to bury the lead. Jeez, what kind of candy did you get?
I think my sister got
walked into a gas station, walked out with a candy she didn't pay for, and no one called the cops. This is definitely the lie right there.
Mm,
I mean, I was a child and adorable. So.
yeah.
And there were 2 of us, my sister and I.
How much did it cost for the payphone to call your mother?
Payphone. I don't think we did that. I think we went in and asked the person, can we call our mom because we're lost? And they're like, I just remember calling from there. I don't recall a payphone. And I know that I got Airheads, like at least 1 or 2 different Airheads, because I thought I was being slick, because I'm like, I'm not going to get a single candy. I'm going to get as much candy as I can out of this deal. So
I love the fact that Nate has rapt attention ever since he heard the word candy.
Yeah, candy's good. Yeah, I got nothing to complain about.
Yeah.
I don't care if this story is a lie. It was a good story.
Because it had candy in it.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a real thrill ride.
Every good story has candy in it.
Yeah.
That is adorable kids getting candy. That doesn't raise respect at all.
David,
does anyone have any questions? You don't know what town I was in or anything?
What town were you in?
That's a good
I was
question.
in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh,
Actually, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Which player class allows the use of both tech and biotic abilities, David?
I was like, you can't be talking to me. Oh, look at that. Are you looking it up? Or
Oh,
did
no.
no.
oh
Is it
no!
Weekend at Bernie?
Engineer.
Okay.
Oh, it's not
What?
biotic engineer.
Ah.
Sentinel? It was
Sentinel, you got one right. You got one right.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
All right.
You
So
are the-
interesting.
You are the face of the Price is Right, tuba.
So, anybody have any questions for Xian?
You were in Lincoln.
How tall were you when you were 9?
Ooh.
Shorter than now. I don't have that locked in my brain, Dennis. What can I say?
When
Well,
you were
the
9 years old, stealing your parents' car, what was it? What did you want to be when you grow up?
When I was 9,
Yeah, why not?
I think I recall. Was I 9 when I wrote that? I wrote a poem about wanting to be an actress, a singer, a dancer, an engineer, and a lawyer when I was like
Huh.
7, 8, or
Yeah.
9. So I wanted
Nice.
to be like a Renaissance woman, I guess.
Mm.
Hmm.
Now you're doing comedy shows with a bunch of dudes.
I am doing that.
So, David, what's your story?
Okay, so I used to have a pretty bad fear of flying, and I'm still not great at it. But it was like about 6-ish years ago. I was flying. I lived in Boston for about a year and a half, and it was one of those summers where like everybody I knew was getting married, so I had to do a lot of flying. And I was flying from Boston to Raleigh, North Carolina, and like I was sort of. I mean, I was always nervous on flights, but normally I would drink a lot before getting on the plane. But this time I was late, so I didn't have much time to sort of just like get into, be relaxed. So I'm there, and at one point, like we're flying, and the stewardess goes up to the front of the cabin, and she answers like a phone on the wall, and she answers it, and then she just bursts into tears, like hysterics, like and everybody can see this. It's at the front cabin, and we're like, oh my god. And of course, I just start flipping out, and like she puts the phone back, and I remember like everyone's like looking around, like what was that? Like the pilot telling her like we forgot the engine or something. Like we're like I'm so nervous, and like I turn, and like the woman sitting next to me, like she has like her like 2-year-old daughter with her, and I'm just like this plane cannot go down. And I remember she's pushing the cart, and she's like barely keeping it together, and she goes to this like 2 or so rows in front of us, and she asked the guy like, what do you want to drink? And he was like, whatever, like orange juice or something. Are you okay? And she's just like, and like ignores the question. She keeps passing by, and like we're all thinking like there has to be something wrong with the plane. But then the pilot comes over the thingy, and he's just like, oh, cruising at however many feet, we'll be landing in like 40 minutes. And like the rest of the flight was totally fine. And then we landed, and like, of course, like at some point later, I do like a complaint thing to JetBlue. And I was like, yeah, like one of the stewardesses like did that. And I was like, I know me complaining about it. I'm an asshole for it, but like I was super terrified from it. And we found out the guy said that her husband called the plane to ask for a divorce.
Holy shit.
JetBlue, you said?
To tell her that.
6 years ago?
Yeah, it was like 2014.
Wow.
They called the plane to be like, hey, pilot, can you patch me into my wife? Let her know that
It was in the response from the JetBlue like customer person, and they were like, "Oh yeah, like that's what happened. Sorry, here's a $150 voucher."
Wow. And the weird thing, they were only together 18 months.
Did the divorce announcement come after they did the safety check, but before they asked if you were okay with sitting in a door row?
Well, I wasn't sitting in a door row, but it was after all that, because it came up, and it was a flight from Boston to North Carolina, so it was probably about like 2-ish hours.
Yeah, that's not a long flight. Wow.
Yeah, and if they said like I distinctly remember hearing 40 minutes. So yeah, I guess it was about halfway through. So we were already like up
passing
there.
out the drinks 40 minutes before the flight. landed?
I guess, yeah.
This divorce can't wait 2 hours. I gotta call the thing now.
That's what's insane about it. I didn't even know that was a possible thing.
That's wild, man. That's like
crazy.
spending $18 to divorce your wife.
You know, I mean, there's no wrong way to
And
tell.
we're when you're like,
You know, I did Facebook Messenger, so
no.
The only reason he called the plane was the carrier pigeon couldn't fly to 30,000 feet. So
Yeah, the pigeon's trying to catch up. Yeah.
Anybody got any questions for David?
I have a lot of
could-
judgmental looks.
what was the in-flight food? What was the dinner choices?
You got the weirdest questions, Dennis.
Oh, I forgot it was a comedy show. Okay.
You're just trying to find out.
How are you eternally feeling and like
Yeah,
you had a call to be divorced with?
Like David tells a story. I just hear Dennis like, what kind of fruit do you like?
Yeah. Well, Dennis and I will get on a Zoom after that to hash out all my feelings. But
David, what row were you sitting in, and did you get aisle or window?
it was probably near the back because I would have bought my ticket late. So and I was in the aisle because I turned and a woman next to me had her daughter with her like in her lap. And since it was JetBlue, the snack was those like weird blue potato chips that they do.
Yeah, those aren't good.
Yeah, they're not great.
Yeah,
I like
the orange
I like
juice.
the Stroop waffle.
Yeah.
What's a Stroop waffle?
It's like a little
Little
cookie you
biscuit.
put on your coffee. It's very good.
Oh,
Tastes like caramel.
They had that at McDonald's a couple of years ago. They had or a year or two ago. They had the Stroop waffle McFlurries. They were fantastic.
Anyways, back to the divorce.
Anyways,
thing.
back to the divorce.
That's a divorce at 30,000 feet.
yeah.
That's the Mile High Club. I love it.
There's something there. But yeah.
That's gotta be-
There's
That's
some
a
one
Twilight Zone
thing on
reference.
the plane. It's a divorce slur.
That's why.
So,
right?
Dennis,
Yeah.
what's your story?
Oh, my story is among many of the many acting jobs that I've been paid to do. One of them was to portray a jogger in a CBS pilot.
What was the
CBS
show?
Pilot.
It didn't make it to air, and I don't remember the name of it because it was under an assumed name when we got booked for it. And then the reason we found out what the name of the show was when they made the announcement that they were not going to follow through on the pilot. But I did a jogger. What had happened is it was February. They called me to come. It was at a hotel. We were running along the Charles River on the Cambridge side of it, just outside of this hotel. I dressed like Rocky by accident because the workout clothes I own were a gray sweatsuit and a black knit cap, and I looked at myself like I look like Stallone. Okay, this is what I look like. Fat Stallone is really what I really said to myself. I just showed up like Fat Stallone. He did what? So here's the scene. The main character. I don't remember the actor's name. The entire scene that we were doing that day was he was running along the Charles River with his dog. He takes a call. He stops, he takes the call, talks to it, hangs up. Everyone runs past him while he's on the call. End of scene. By the way, it's very embarrassing to recognize a dog because he has better IMDb credits than you do. So there's that.
Yep.
So,
we do one thing.
what did you do at the
They
craft
walk up
service?
to me and they go,
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
craft services came after. Comes after the sentence because we did one take. They called cut, and they're like, "All right, Dennis, hey, great job, you did wonderful. We're going to send you home. We're going to pay for the full day. We're done with you. Thanks a lot." And I was like, "Did you fire the only fat guy on set first?" And they're like, "We don't have insurance. Food truck, you're going to anyway."
Wow.
Wow.
When was this?
This was February 2018.
How tall were you?
Nice.
5'6", 5'5" in running shoes.
What creature had attacked Rear Admiral Kako's missing Marines? Dennis.
That would have been the Tula of Megatron.
The Thresher Maw. Nice try though. Thresher Maw.
I mean,
so
I had some of those syllables in there somewhere. It was a Mad Lib of syllables that spelled the correct answer.
So basically now I'm gonna Stroop waffles.
Ooh.
Oh, those are so good.
Yeah, so good.
You can put them on your coffee. It warms them up too, so it makes them better.
Wow. Actually, there's a place in Watertown that sells them.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Could you really sue them if they made you run and you collapsed?
Pizzelli cookies or Pizel cookies. Those are Italian waffle cookies. Is that basically what those things are?
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much.
I've never
And,
heard.
less anisette. Less anisette.
Okay. Cool. Anybody else have questions about my failed CBS pilot that I was a part of?
There's one in the chat. Could you really sue them if they made you run and you collapsed?
Could you really see them if they made you run and you collapse? What?
Like if you would collapse from exhaustion.
Sue them. I read that.
Yeah.
Could you see them? Could I sue them and collapse? No, they have insurance for that, and I could have, but that's what insurance pays for.
Were any of the actors you worked with?
You don't have insurance for this. Yeah, it was It was a shitty CBS pilot.
Would we recognize any of the actors who you worked with?
Yeah, the main character. I don't know his name. I know him from other things. He's like on like what's that Kerry Washington drama show where she's like somebody in the White House?
Scandal?
Yeah, I think he's on. I think he was on Scandal. Maybe
Was he like the main dude or one of those underlings?
no, he was African American gentleman. Isn't a white dude the main dude on Scandal, like the president? There's like weird curly like Doug like hair where it kind of hangs off to the side of it and curls and weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's like a tooth
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bringing it back in.
Yes. Inside.
So I'm going to ask you guys to vote now. How many people think that Shion's story was the lie?
Is the audience voting or are we all voting?
We're all voting. We're all voting.
Okay.
'Cause I asked the audience to vote, but it would take forever. Sean knows about that.
Sorry, audience.
I will be the one that believes she was the liar.
Okay. How many believe that Nate was the liar?
I also believe Nate was the liar.
How many people believe that David was the liar?
No,
How about
That
Sean?
blue story was.
Well, I definitely believe he dropped out of community college.
How many people believe that Dennis's story was a lie? All right. Well, will the liar please raise your hand?
All those JetBlue bags were suspect.
Yeah, that just never happened.
I don't think they call. I don't think they call you to divorce somebody. I don't think they
That
let
would
them
be
call
Also
you.
wouldn't
amazing.
tell you. They wouldn't be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, the reason was that this person had a personal thing, and I'm going to tell
Yeah.
you all the details."
Yeah.
Oh,
they wouldn't-
trust me. The second I got to that part of the story, I was like, "This is what's going to give it away."
In fact, they wouldn't tell you the details in an email either.
Right?
Yeah.
They'd call me and be like, "Let's dish."
Well, you turned
Here's
the phone
the
off on the
tea.
plane for everyone except the pilot. He's the only one that's
Yeah.
in airplane mode.
Well, that's our show, everybody. Thank you very much for everybody for watching. Thank you for being on the show. Thanks to Shion. Thanks to Nate. Thanks to David. Thanks to Sean. Thanks to Dennis. Thanks to Matt behind the scenes. Thanks to Ben as well for putting us on weekly. Thank you to all the fans out there. Please stay tuned at 10:30. We've got Ken Breeze's new show. Ken Breeze's podcast, Jog My Memory, which sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. Please stick around for that as well. And thank you, everybody, and have a great night.
Yay!